Hey, it's Ron, and I want to tell you a story about business and how that story changed everything. It's January 5th, 1970, and the data center that we're in smells like hot dust and ozone. Machines are humming in rhythm. There's a reel-to-reel tape that's spinning, then clicks to a stop, then spins some more, then clicks to another stop. At the far end of the room, a systems operator named Larry opens a small cardboard box stamped IBM diskette, do not bend. He takes one of them out, thin, black, flimsy. It wobbles between his fingers. He looks over at a coworker. "What the hell is this thing?" he says. "And why does it flop around?" See, here's the thing to understand. For years, Larry's life has been ruled by weight. Magnetic tapes the size of a dinner plate, boxes of punch cards stacked up like bricks, machines that you measure in tons. Everything about computing, as far as Larry knows, is heavy, loud, and permanent. But this thing they're calling a diskette, it feels wrong, like it belongs in an office supply cabinet, not next to a mainframe computer. What Larry doesn't know is that this piece of plastic, flexible enough to bend, light enough to mail, will change the way the world handles information. Because before this day, data couldn't travel. After this day, it can. So how does a flimsy sheet of plastic end up redefining what a computer can do? Why would something that looks like an office toy become the backbone of a new era of information sharing? And on January 5th, 1970, how did Larry's confusion mark the moment that data finally learned how to move in the real world? From Business Basics, I'm Ron Trucks, and this is Business History, the daily podcast where we explain the stories that changed business forever. Throughout history, every date on the calendar has a story where business reshaped the world. Today, January 5th, that story takes us to 1970. IBM introduces the floppy disk, data goes portable. In the late 1960s, IBM ran on tape. Everything, software updates, backups, entire operating systems, lived on magnetic reels the size of pizza pans. They were heavy, fragile, and slow. One speck of dust could freeze a $1 million mainframe. Engineers cursed at them daily. When a system needed new microcode, someone had to thread tape through a drive, start the load, wait half an hour, and pray it didn't jam. Field technicians flew city to city, hauling these magnetic spools in metal cases. Every update felt like they were moving furniture. By 1969, IBM's San Jose lab was desperate for something faster. They needed a way to move code without shipping half the machine with it. What if data could travel light, like mail instead of freight? That question became a quiet challenge. A handful of engineers started sketching ideas. Smaller, thinner, simpler. A storage medium you could hold in one hand, copy in seconds, and trust to survive a trip all the way across the country. Nobody said it out loud, but the truth was pretty obvious. If IBM couldn't make data mobile, somebody else eventually would. So, IBM built one. In 1970, that San Jose team delivered a flexible magnetic disk inside a square sleeve, 8 inches wide, coated in iron oxide, holding about 80 kilobytes of data. It loaded a mainframe in seconds and cost a fraction of the old tapes, and they called it the diskette. Now, at first, IBM used it only for internal maintenance. No grand announcement, no marketing plan. Just a faster way to ship code. But when customers saw the little black squares arrive in the technician's service kits, curiosity spread faster than the data itself. Remember Larry, the field technician? The one that laughed and asked, "What the hell is this thing and why does it flop around?" What Larry didn't realize was that this flimsy, square, black piece of plastic solved one of computing's biggest bottlenecks. For the first time, data could move without the machine that created it. Programs could travel by envelope. Engineers could collaborate from different cities. IBM had designed a convenience. What they had actually invented was mobility, the first true vehicle for digital information.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Within a few years, the floppy disk escaped IBM's control. Competitors copied the design, versions shrank 5¼ inches and then 3½ The personal computer boom turned the disk from a service tool into a household object. By the 1980s and 90s, desks everywhere had piles of them, labeled in pencil, stacked in drawers, traded, kind of like currency or baseball cards. Software companies built fortunes on that portability. Games, spreadsheets, word processors, all sold on handfuls of diskettes packed inside cardboard boxes. Students swapped assignments, offices swapped files, and a new verb quietly entered the language: save. The floppy disk, or diskette, made data portable, but it also made it personal. It gave people ownership over information for the first time. You could carry your work home, copy it, share it, or lose it. Those same rules define our digital lives today. By the 1990s, the floppy had become the symbol of the digital age, simple, flexible, and universal. And though it's long since vanished into icons and clouds, its message endures. Once data can move, business moves with it. And the truly ironic part of all this? Today's kids see a little symbol in programs that means save, but they don't have any idea what that little icon actually represents. Do you? Yep, that's a diskette. I'm Ron Trucks, and this is Business History, the podcast that finds the turning points behind the headlines. To hear more stories like this, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen. And if you're enjoying the stories, don't forget to subscribe and leave a quick review. It helps more people find the story behind the business. And do you want to actually understand business without the fluff or the buzzwords or the MBA language? Start by visiting businessdailypodcast.com.